Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are doing the Shrine of Secrets review for the 14th of September 2022. It feels like I've been doing these Shrine reviews for a while now. I think it's been a year. I'm not entirely sure, but that's kind of cool, right? I've been doing these for like a year, because I only have a playlist for the 2022 shrines, so I don't know how long it's been actually, but I don't know. That's cool. Anyway, let's get started. First of all, we have Cuda Grass. There's a lot of different pronunciations. I'm very sorry. I say Cuda Grass, but I don't know. I'm sorry. Please don't hate me. This one has it so every time a generator is completed, you get a token, and then each token increases the distance of your lunges by 80%. So when you lunge, you obviously go a bit further, you can reach more. This one has so it gets mega buffed. Now, obviously, you can only do this if you have a token, and if you lunge, you can like preserve stacks by just tapping the button just to do a normal swing. But anytime you want to lunge, it turns into a mega lunge, and you can go around pallets, you can go around like objects and stuff. And basically, it's for like a situation where if it's like a long loop and they're about to get to the pallet, if you do this, you might be able to down them and save yourself a stun, basically. Recently, I've seen a lot of people say this is really good on Wesker because Wesker's power kind of struggles with like those kind of loops where they're really long and like you can't get around them in time. So this one's really good because most of the time you will be using Virulent Bound anyway. So I feel like it's good to just have a little buff to your normal attacks. But this is good for a lot of killers. I don't use it a whole lot because the problem with this perk is that obviously you have to try and preserve them. If you lunge even a little bit, like you don't even have to use the whole lunge. If you even just accidentally lunge like a feet in front of you, that takes a token. Anything that provokes lunging or anything like that will use a token. So it can be kind of difficult to preserve tokens, but if you can, it's great. They do stack on top of each other as well. So if two gens get done and you haven't lunged, then you'll have two tokens, if that makes sense. Basically, I would say you can use this on anyone, really. I would say, like I said, Wesker, I think, benefits from this. But I would say a lot of killers. I think, like, Michael's very popular with this build, and I don't know. You can use this on anyone, really. It's like a little niche thing, but it's actually quite effective sometimes as well. Next up, we have Object of Obsession, which is a Lori perk, and this one has so it reveals your aura to the killer every 30 seconds, but while your aura is revealed to them, their aura is also revealed to you, and you get a little bonus to, like, repairing and healing and all that. Cleansing? Yeah, cleansing totems. This one I don't think is too bad. I think it's like a decent, like, not tracking perk, because that's, like, for killer. Like, you know, a good, like, awareness perk. You know, every 30 seconds you get a 3-second aura reveal. And while that does also reveal you to them, you will get a little buff as well in that moment. And I think if you're on comms, this one's great because you can relate to your team where the killer is and what they're doing. So I guess that's good. However, I would say Alert is better. I think Alert is really underrated. And I don't know, I feel like it kind of does what this perk does a little better. Alert has it so when the killer performs a break action, they have their aura revealed to you for 5 seconds. It does not reveal your aura to them, but you also don't get the bonus. It's purely just seeing where the killer is when they like break a pallet or something. So personally, I would choose Alert over this. However, I do see the benefit of using this. But I personally would recommend Alert more. But if you're gravitating towards this in the bonus and everything, go for it. Go ahead, why not? Next up, we have Unbreakable, which is a build perk. This one lets you fully recover from the dying state once per trial, and also increases your dying recovery speed by 40%. No, it's 35%. 35%. 35% it is. Yes. This one, I feel like everyone knows what this is, so I won't linger on it too long. But, you know, it's good. I think there's a lot of situations where someone with, like, even one person with Unbreakable completely ruins a killer's plan. You know, if they're about to 4K, an Unbreakable might, like, you know, halt that, basically, if that makes sense. However, it is pretty situational because you have to be slugged for it to work. And even if you do get slugged, unless the team is in like a really dire situation, someone will just come and get you anyway. You probably don't want to just waste it if someone can get to you. This is for those situations where everyone's slugged, or like there's one person hooked and everyone else is slugged, and I know there's one person injured or something like that. Basically, if you're in a moment where the team is fucked, Unbreakable is great because it lets you fully recover. You don't need someone else to, risk coming over, or if no one can even come over. And that's what I was saying about halting the killer's plan, if they were slugging everyone. There also is, pardon me, there is also Boon Exponential, which basically is Unbreakable in a boon. Again, I feel like that one is situational, and that one's a lot worse just because it has to be in the 28 or 24 meter range of the boon, and if not, you're fucked, basically. So I would say very strong, very good, very effective, but it is situational, and you'll have probably a lot of games where this doesn't do anything. And even if you do get slugged, like I said, sometimes if there is a survivor available, it's best just to wait and let them come, because you can only do it once per trial to fully recover. So I hope I explained that well. You get what I mean, basically, right? You don't want to just waste it if you don't need to. It's best to try and save it for when, I don't know, things get a bit sticky. And finally, we have Territorial Imperative. I won't linger on this one either because this one is just bad. This one shows survivors' auras when they go into the basement, and you have to be a certain meter away from the basement. Yeah, I don't know. If you play Bubba and you basement Bubba, you're like that kind of player, or I don't know, if you want to combine this with Monstrous Shrine, then sure, I guess, but I don't really see the point in that, to be perfectly honest. And I really don't think this one is very crazy. I think you'll get lucky sometimes because till this day, I'm still one of those people who, if I have a free moment to myself, I go to the basement and I open the chest, okay? So I guess you will get value from it, but I don't know, it's only 3 seconds. You have to be away from the basement, so if you're away from the basement, chances are you're probably occupied. If you're occupied, you probably won't even be able to turn around to see them in the basement. And if there are multiple of the same survivor and one of them goes in the basement, that doesn't really help you because it's like, well, which bloody Jake is it, for example? So I don't think this one's worth it in my opinion, but that's my opinion. This is all just my opinion, by the way. I do these to kind of guide people on what perks are worth it more and which ones are better, and which ones to actually use. So I would say Q, because I just think this perk's a bit underrated, and I think it does get you a lot of value. Even though it is hard to save stacks, I still think this perk is pretty solid. So I would say everyone should at least have this. If they don't, so at least you've got it. If you're someone who plays, again, especially Wesker, I've been using this on Wesker for a couple of days. It's not too bad, to be honest. If you're struggling with Killer a bit, this can help. And also, if you are good at Killer, then this is just fun. And I would say Unbreakable as well, because, like I said, even though it's situational, it's very effective. And when if you play Killer a little bit, you've probably played against an Unbreakable. You've probably seen someone be able to pick themselves up. Also, you can still use, even though the full recovery is once per trial, the recovery speed, it stays all game. So even though you won't be able to fully recover yourself, you can still get 99s really quickly, which is still good because it means it saves someone time when they come over to heal you, because you'll be, you'll be recovered faster. So yes, and the other two, I would say, again, if you're interested in object, go for it. But personally, I would say Alert or Bond or Aftercare. Well, actually no, because they don't relate to killers. I would say Alert personally, but go for object if you want it. Guys, that do it from me. Hope you enjoyed. I hope you found this useful, and I'll see you in the next one.